now they're going up and praying for everybody. I just don't think they have the attention span for that. So that's kind of why I like the.
This is a younger.
We have a very young crowd now.
I haven't done the youngest groups.
And just along those lines, it's going to be really cool to see this little group next year. And they may graduate into praying for each other, and they're going to know this Apostles' Creed. You know, and it'll be cool to watch them grow.
The other groups did that really well.
Yeah.
But this group may not work.
Yeah.
I haven't had them yet.
All right. Well, yeah, that's good. Either way, I think would work. Have a pray for each other, or. And then we do the worship through giving. Obviously, and just one little thing, I mean, because everybody wants to volunteer. So, I mean, sometimes you can have 4 volunteers. If you have 2 rows, you can have 2 kids standing on each side, and they pass
But she
it back.
had to do it last week.
See, that's a problem. Is there any way that inside that notebook, you can have like an attendance, you know, with your names, and then put,
Not just a blank sheet of paper.
who did it the last time?
You can write it.
Because I don't
really
want to
smart.
get anybody,
Every time.
like, some children, I want to, and, you know,
And I never did it before.
And I never did it before, and another
Yeah.
child really does want to do it, and you have a tendency to gravitate toward the kids that,
Well, see, I confess, that's when I'll turn and say, but I've had to call you back to sit down in your seat 3 times.
okay,
So,
well, see,
I have not had to call her
I
name
kids
one
do
time.
it more often.
That's the
Right.
disciplinary end of it.
Yeah.
And if there was any way we could take turns and then. that
Yeah,
kind
no,
of-
that's a great idea.
And it's already in the book, so I know what Beverly's did. I know what child, what children, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, because some are sick.
Yeah.
If they miss a couple of Sundays, and then, you know, some, like the Sojays or somebody that's there every Sunday, and they've done it like for 2 in a row or 3 in a row,
Because they're the only
then
one.
they kind of get an expect, well, I'm supposed
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, lately it's the same kids every, yeah, so.
Okay, no, that's a great idea.
Attendance
That'd be a
All
good
right,
thing to
that
But the
would be
discipline thing
Yeah.
is good too, to withhold the privilege if they.
Yes, but it doesn't teach grace very well.
But it's
They
just
have to be good and.
Well, just another form.
Yeah.
Okay, and so the Lord's Prayer, go through that. I've sung it with them. They seem to like that. Either
That's
way.
one that a lot of them already
I
know,
have.
Everybody likes it.
and a child
Yeah.
can't get up and class about it. Because they tend to know that one really well. And then I would call on a child to say, hey Linda, do you know it? Do you want us to get up and pray it for everybody? And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Okay. You saying for just the individual child to do it?
Yeah,
or-
for the Lord's Prayer, because most kids
Yeah.
have a really good chance of knowing
Yes.
that. So,
Okay.
or once they've learned it, you know, maybe
Now you're saying they would only say, or they would lead the
Lead.
class?
they would
and
lead the
say-
class and
Okay.
saying, I'd let them stand up next to me, and the whole class is saying it out loud, but this child just.
Right, so,
Yeah. Yeah.
so pick a child that would like to do that, is that right? And
Sure. Yeah.
They-
sing it,
If you want to.
wow.
Just know either way. I mean, it couldn't hurt for them to be learning a song and that.
Well, could you
do it.
sing it for us on the videotape so that we're all singing the same melody?
Same tune, that would help.
I'm serious, I'm sorry, that's kind of on the spot.
Can we all do it together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we
Let's
know
do it,
it?
let's do it together.
Kids sing better than I do.
Oh, yeah.
Art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
Perfect pitch to sing with kids.
So I accidentally skipped that. So that comes right after praying for one one another.
Oh, wow.
Then we go to the offering, and then ministry of the word. And I'm trying to get through this a little bit quick because I know this is running. But these are great pictures. And again, depending on how much time you have, you know, even if you're just able to pick out, you know, let them look at pictures, talk about what they see. If they're drawing, if you've chosen to let them kind of do their own little notes, say, you know, draw a picture of, you know, something you see up here or whatever. Just any way to keep engaging them and talking about the story.
The next one down. I was going to say, oftentimes I don't put those up because that doesn't grab a child's attention, particularly the young group that we have right now. I would leave that other one that's nothing but picture, or flip through them as I'm reading them. So again, that kind of depends on your age group that you have.
You're saying when you have it up, you use this machine?
I do. Not everybody does. Some people just sit in front and hold they hold the transparencies
this.
on a blank piece of paper, and they're just right there with the kids, and they don't want to use the overhead. Some people find it a bit awkward.
I thought you were reading out of that book.
No, I've made overheads of every page.
It's from that book.
She's made a color Xerox of the page.
I was just going to
Pictures
say,
in
I've
the
been in
book.
there both ways.
Yeah.
And I think the overhead works a lot better. I personally am a very visual learner, and so if I don't have something in front of me to look at,
Yeah.
I'm going to be back here
Yeah.
And I'll,
looking Evelyn. So
And that's why I encourage you not to put the ones with the words on it unless you have a group that's old enough to read. I mean, if you have nothing but readers, you know, or some child who's older and smart and in kindergarten, you know, maybe you can get them to maybe pick out one or the two words, you know,
Yeah.
to engage the older ones. So, I mean, it depends on your group. You kind of have to.
well, and so much is about atmosphere too, and I think since this does come later on in the hour, when you turn off the lights,
It's quiet.
it quiets them down. It's something that's very obvious. This is where our focus is. I think sometimes that helps just to pull them into this last segment of what we're doing. Yeah.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
That is okay.
Yeah.
I would even say, though, we need to have a copy of the Lord's Prayer and the Apostles'
Up there.
Creed.
Okay.
Even up there. Or, there's not one in the room either, but someplace big, because again, I'm a visual
Well, we
learner.
see it in Big Church, you know, they always.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I tend to think this isn't such a great group of readers, so I've never considered
But you got
having
Titus in there
Everybody
reads,
needs to
and I
see
bet you
some.
August reads too, some. I mean, you got 5-year-olds
Yeah.
in there.
He's not going to be in there anymore.
No, it's But, I mean, Daniel recognizes some words.
Okay.
It's
I
good
can
for
do
them
that.
to see it. I
I
mean,
can do that.
you could even put pictures up there with it, you know, so just something to.
Right. To engage them visually, right.
Because, yeah.
I'll do
I
that.
think it's for me.
Yes.
I mean, I tell them, I said, I know you guys, most of you guys haven't learned to read yet. I said, you know what, I can. And I want you to listen. But you have ears, and I want you to listen. Because I'm going to tell you a story that God says He wants me to tell you. And it's written right here. It's story time. He wants you to listen to what He wants you to say. And let's tell a story.
Yeah.
And so they know there are words up there, and I'm letting them know that it's okay that they can't read them yet. And I try to always paint a picture to say, you haven't learned yet, but this is what we can do. See, we can read when we get a little older. So pay attention.
Yeah.
And they want to do that. They want to try to do what you're holding out for them. And I said, in big church, they do this in big church.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm trying always to in big church, what's mommy and daddy doing right now? You know, let's be like mommy and daddy.